the process of monetizing your brand and how methodical and the creative structure you put in place to create the outcome, if that makes sense.
So
So
how to take your passion and build a business around it?
yeah, but you're a business.
Yeah. So yeah. So I mean, there's 9 million ways to do it. There's not really like a standard template to it. But the general advice that I would give is if you are doing this. So people call me all the time and they're like, "How do you like grow a podcast? How do you grow a brand? Like, how do you do all of this?" And they're like, "I'm trying to like advertise. I'm trying to get sponsors. I'm trying to do all this. I'm trying to do all that." You're asking the wrong question.
Right.
You're asking the wrong question.
What's the right question?
You're it's like you're looking at peanuts. Like you're looking at peanuts. It's like one of the analogies, like they did a test where it's like you're maybe like getting $1 a day and you're sacrificing like 1 million later on. So whenever, especially in the content game, I tell people, if you're not willing to do this for free for 2 years, don't do it. And like that's a pretty good distinction of like, is this actually passionate income for you? Because I didn't start this with the intention of monetizing it. So people are like, how do I start a podcast? How do I start a brand and monetize it right out the gate? You won't. It's going to be shit. It's going to be terrible because people are going to sniff it out right away, and the value exchange isn't there. So you haven't provided enough value to people for you to ask anything of them. So it's just like for me with the Action Academy, I was like, wow, it'd be super cool to build a community of people that are like literally answering the questions that I had 3 years ago. Because who's the best person to sell to is you 3 years ago. And I was just like, that would be super cool to like have access to mentors and asset classes and all this different stuff. But like, am I going to start the Action Academy podcast and just be like, join my community, give me money? Hell no.
Right.
It doesn't work like that. And that's what people want, is they want like the short, easy button. But
okay,
like
so for me, check. I've done it right so far. Keep going.
Yeah. So a good rule of thumb is like the longer your runway, the more gain like you will have as a creator. So if you can delay your ask by a year, you'll be wealthy. If you can delay your ask by 5 years, you'll be fabulously wealthy. If you delay your ask by 10 years, you're going to be unforgettable. So that's kind of like the Mr. Beast scenario where he doesn't really care about the money. He's just going to keep going.
Okay.
So I did the podcast for free for a year. Started with 1 episode, cranked it up to 2, cranked it up to 5. So use that same framework for whatever content that you want to create. So what I say is make sure that people don't create quantity because they think people will get annoyed by quantity. But if it's quality quantity, it's okay. But what most people do is they produce crap just to like throw something up. And then so they could sniff that out a mile away.
So let me stop you right there. So that's, guys, like I said, I'm bringing his conversation, his world into our world. There's a lot of people that are passionate about short-term rentals and they're buying homes. They're just trying to put a cabin out there with a bear head on the wall, and then they're replicating it over and over and over again, but they're not really that passionate about it. They're just trying to make quick money, and they're doing that ask. I'm just throwing a shit product out there. I'm just doing a quick cash grab, and it's not monetizing. And we're actually seeing that in a saturated short-term rental market.
They're going to lose their proproperties.
Yeah.
So other operators.
Conversation. We can bring this all the way back to real estate. So keep going.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing. Like you're going to lose. So like, here's the thing. Don't be good at a lot of things. Be great at one thing. So if you're decent at short-term rentals, like you're going to get beat. Like we're going into a part of the recession right now where it's going to get dicey, and people that are operators that know what they're doing and they're like, hey, I'm in this freaking thing. Let's go. Let's button down the hatches. Like I'm in. Like they're going to have outsized returns in this next environment because other people that are just like the neighborhood, like weekend operators, are going to like sell. They're like, I can't handle this anymore. I don't want to deal with this. And they're going to sell to other people. And that's what's going to happen in this next environment. I'm excited. Yeah. And so when it comes back to content, though, I tell people, and this could apply to short-term rentals, all your content, your listings, everything. It's like you start with like one piece of content and then make sure that it's good. And then slowly, gradually work your way up. Because I do 5 pieces a week. I do 5 episodes a week. I do 20 pieces of content a day, 5 episodes a week on my podcast. Okay. But it's like I do 20 pieces of content distributed. So anyways, like that's how I do it. I track my inputs, which are called lead measures, not lag measures.
Right. So I've got a saying. I said this to the people at my short-term rental seminars or summit or whatever you want to call it. But I had everybody in. I said, there is something with a short-term rental. You can put a property out there and done is better than perfect. but once it's done, you better make it perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, does that translate with what you're saying here?
Yeah, and, like, if you're in short-term rentals and you're not on TikTok and short form video, what are you doing?